Runners in scoring position. Couple of home runs tonight for the Tigers. One in the second inning by Jones, and one in the fifth inning by Milam, his first of the year.
And if you're wondering, they are playing a 10-run rule tonight, which doesn't come into effect till the seventh inning.
LSU has made two defensive substitutions. Jake Brown is in right field, and Luis Hernandez is behind the plate. Brown replaces Josh Pearson in right field, and Hernandez now catching in place of Aaron Beatty.
Primo walked the first guy he faced when he came.
Biediger comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. This young man from Fort Worth. My Texas buddies over there pronounce it Fort Worth.
Well, your Texas buddy, if he's an LSU fan, will get a chance to watch the Tigers 4 times this week in the Dallas area. They'll play in Arlington on Wednesday and then in Frisco, Texas over the weekend. I'm sure there'll be a ton of LSU fans up there this weekend in Frisco. Kansas State on Friday, Nebraska Saturday, who Nebraska just came down to Lafayette last weekend and got beat 2 out of 3 by the Raiders.
Backing up. And then the one bounce to Jones.
They're going to go ahead.
They are going to challenge
Nicholls
it, but Jones with a heck of a stretch, too.
Safe at first base.
The ruling was out, but Nicholls is going to challenge this, and we've got our first review of the game.
Base.
Safe or out, you make the call.
I think he's out.
I do, too. Worth a challenge, that's for sure, but
yep. I thought Nicholls should have challenged the play at third. When they ended the inning with Fisher getting thrown out, stretching the double into a triple, I thought it was close enough to where maybe go ahead and take a challenge there. They didn't, and now I don't think they're going to win this one. Ball and glove right there.
Yeah, that's a great angle. Our LSU called it as well. He came up with a right hand before he was able to get back upright.
Did you see, Lynn, where in the minor leagues they're having that challenge system for balls and strikes?
Yes.
60% of spring training games this year will have the ABS system where the pitcher, the hitter, or the catcher can call right away for a challenge to a game, and if you get any of the challenges right, you get to keep them.
After video review, the ruling on the field of out is confirmed.
There's a perfect angle.
Yeah.
That's from our Hawkeye camera.
Ball in the glove, and you see clearly the foot is not on the green bag.
So a splendid 6-3 putout. And here is Fisher Ingersoll from American Fork, Utah.
That was a good angle. Good
sure
camera
was.
angle. I wonder how much sports properties would charge to put the Rougarou logo right on the green bag, right in the middle.
Sakes.
It's got to be a number, right?
Gracious sakes.
Now, DJ Primo, fastball around 90 miles an hour. They're hoping that they don't have as many lefties as they did last year. LSU was loaded with lefties out of the bullpen last year. So they're really hoping that DJ Primo can kind of find his rhythm and be one of their main guys out of the pen for, a couple batters or an inning or so at a time.
Is the breaking pitch his best delivery?
And I think that's the slider with that sort of short arm delivery that he has, if he can command it for a strike, is pretty filthy down in the zone. As you can see, he struggled tonight with the command. He's walked some hitters, he's fallen behind hitters, and that's something that he'll have to clean up if he wants to, pitch more frequently.
There's a good one.
But he hides the ball well. The ball sort of kind of flips out of the side of his body. It's definitely a little bit of a different look.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. One out, a runner at.
There was a ball, but I think this is a strike. Let's see, right there. I mean, definitely at the bottom part of the knees, but that's a good spot. You know, pitchers are usually going to get the benefit of that call downstairs like that.
And that's the final pitch of the game for Primo. LSU will go to the bullpen. We'll come back in a moment. Tigers 10, Nicholls 2. And when he gets healthy, LSU expects some pretty good things from this young man.
Well, he had Tommy John surgery back on February 8th, 2023. Returned last April. Got to pitch against Vanderbilt first time out. And then here he is fully healthy now in 2025. And is battling to be, you know, one of the main top 10, top 11 arms. I mean, LSU's blessed with options, but you can only throw so many guys. And, you know, really that number is about 10, 11 that are going to really be relied on. The rest are just going to get innings when they can.
2 outs. Newt inherits a runner at second base and has an 8-run lead. Westcott at the plate. He's out of Mandeville, but he swings through a pitch. Hitting .250 at the moment.
Newt was the #1 right-handed pitcher out of California in the class of 2022, according to Perfect Game. That's pretty high praise for a state as big and as good at baseball as California.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Newt rocks and fires and misses high with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
It looks like he's not even trying. I mean, his delivery is so sort of nonchalant, and the ball just.
So we move forward. LSU's lead is 8, 10-2 over Nicholls as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Now with the Tigers trying to get a couple more and perhaps end this game early. Daniel Dickinson will lead it off. He has singled in a run. That came in the first inning. He has fly to center field, and he was hit by a pitch and scored in his last at bat. 1 for 2 officially.
A pitch 17 times. And they're, you know, we're in the middle of their 8th game. My Menard High math says that's just over 2 a game. That's pretty good. Which is kind of on pace for what they've done for the last couple
years. Yeah,
that's
not unusual. That's second in the SEC, by the way. Ethan Fry is batting for the second time. He takes a bender. LSU will use a pinch runner. Mikey Ryan. Fry pulls this one on the ground foul. So Mikey Ryan has replaced Dickinson.
Mikey Ryan from New Orleans.
Have you ever been through Rose Pine?
Maybe like once or twice. It's over there by Leesville. A couple times.
Well, don't have a heavy foot when you do it.
Pretty good chance I may have gotten a ticket in that town. Pretty good slider that time by McGivney. But from a pitcher standpoint, you just tip your cap to the hitter because that's where he wanted to throw it. So you got Mikey Ryan, the young man from Rummel High School, at second. Ethan Fry at first out of Rose Pine.
And Luis Hernandez batting for the first time from Puerto Rico.
Name another LSU great baseball player from Puerto Rico, Lynn.
How long do I have?
I mean, do you need a lifeline? I mean, it should be pretty obvious.
I'm tied up at the moment.
All right. Well, guy was on 2 national championship teams and played in the major leagues. Does that help any?
You're putting me on the spot. Oh, I think I know. Were the initials AR?
That's correct.
Ball, and then was able to.
Nice play.
4-3 rather on the putout. Excuse me, 6-3 on the putout. 6 unassisted at second base. Here's Milam.
Oh, strength change, just missed. See if Milam can continue his big night. 5 ribbies for the little fella.
He's not been put out. A 2-run single in the first, a walk in the third, a 3-run home run, his first of the year in his last at bat. And it came as a right-handed batter, didn't it?
Yep. 8 homers a year ago, so he obviously expects to build on that. Hit maybe 10 this year or something.
Move forward, LSU getting some action.
Yeah, Jay Johnson's really done a nice job early on and getting a lot of Tigers some time on the diamond. It's hard to do. It's hard
yes,
to
it
do.
is.
But you've got to. Next year, the roster will be a 34-man roster, and that's something that Jay Johnson's actually excited about because that's a much more manageable number, and because it's really hard. You know, you're not really playing more than that many guys anyway, and it's hard to manage pitchers and get guys at bats and innings beyond about 34. And so right now LSU's at 40. Next year the roster limitations will change to 34. It has to do with the conferences and the schools. You know, you're going to have limitations on scholarships in baseball that are going to be different from conference to conference.
11.7 has been in place for years. It's been a significantly lower number than it should be for years.
There's a lot of schools out there, Lynn, smaller schools that they have trouble financing their 11.7. You know, and a school like LSU says, "Hey, give me more," but not all schools feel that way. And then, of course, you know it's a whole bigger conversation about college sports on whether there should be a different divisions and the Power Four should break off and that sort of thing, have different classifications, but because of football. But even at the baseball level, I mean, you're talking about you think there's a difference between LSU football and say UL Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns football. Well, what's the difference between LSU baseball and,
albeit on some close pitches, but he has passed Urban and he has walked the top of the order in Jans. Kalura is 1 for 2. He had a base hit in the first inning and then has flied to left and walked. Mick Paul is in left field. Chris Stanfield is the center fielder. Jake Brown is in right. Michael Braswell is at third. Stephen Milam is the shortstop. Mikey Ryan at second base. Jared Jones on first. And Luis Hernandez is behind the plate. 1-1 on Jaden Kalura out of Hammond, Louisiana. Batting .318, off to a nice start this year. Newt finds the strike zone.
Newt with the nice, just easy delivery. Lifts the front leg and looks like he's almost throwing BP, and then the ball just boom jumps out the hand. 93 on that last offering.
Nobody out. 2 aboard. These Colonels years ago made it to the World Series in a lower division of college baseball. I think it might have been a Division II or the equivalent at that time. Certainly the organization has changed since then, but Nicholls and UNO were kind of the front runners or forerunners of postseason play on a national level. We may have a pitching change right here, and we do. So LSU summons a right-hander, and he will inherit runners at first and third and one out, and the Tigers leading 10-2. So we'll take a timeout and be right back as LSU leads by 8. Fiskdale, Massachusetts, who carries 253 pounds on that 6'9" frame. Couple of innings of work in 2 appearances. He has struck out 3. He has not walked a batter.
Rated the number 36th college freshman out of the top 75 by perfect game. Number 1 high school player in the state of Massachusetts.
He's allowed 1 hit in those 2 innings.
Is the nephew of Detroit Tigers right-handed pitcher Alex Cobb, who also pitched for the Rays, Orioles, Angels, Giants, and Guardians during a 13-year big league career. So I mean, there's just a lot about this young man that's interesting and exciting to see what the ceiling is, because when you're 6'9", 250 pounds and can throw the rock like he can, the sky's the limit.
And we've got a pinch hitter. Luke Dickerson has grabbed a bat and is batting for Melanson.
It's just 96 with the first offer from the big freshman.
Dickerson is out of Windermere, Florida.
Luke Dickerson looks small next to Rizzi, and Luke's 6'7", 225.
Good comparison.
And he's going to get pitch run for, so Dickerson's going to leave the game, and Narvin Booker Jr., a junior from Atlanta, Georgia, is going to enter the game, a Mississippi Valley State transfer.
So Nicholls, with only 1 out, has 3 base runners, and there's a breaking pitch for a strike. Interesting that Rizzi came right back with 1 after plunking the previous batter with 1. Breaking ball.
Yeah, doubt Logan Mock thought that was going to happen.
The pitch swirls wide. It's been all LSU since the first inning when Nicholls got 1 in the first. Tigers counted with 4 immediately, added 1 in the second, and 5 in the 5th. Jones and Milam have home runs for the Tigers. There's another good breaking pitch.
Yeah, very nice. You know, got a hitter at the plate, getting that foot down quick, expecting that 95-mile-an-hour heater.
As Mock gets the RBI on a fielder's choice, 6-4.
At the plate, your Colonels, first baseman Tyler Johnson.
Here's Tyler Johnson, who's 0 for 1 officially. Sacrifice fly in the first, grounded out in the 4th to Milam, and walked in the 6th. Runners on the corners with 2 outs now, as Irvin has crossed the plate.
Tyler Johnson at the plate out of Brother Martin High School in New Orleans. Name any former great LSU player from Brother Martin High School, Lynn.
Let me think on this. I did get Amando Rios.
It took a minute. Might have had some help.
I'm thinking one of the Barbiers.
Well, that's pretty good. Trey Morgan would have been another one, who just Double-A right now. Fantastic season last year in pro ball. Trey Morgan out of Brother Martin. Of course, Blair Barbier, captain of the 2000 National Championship team.
The 1-1 pitch.
Greg, lots of guys that have come out of.
I think generally speaking, I've held up pretty well tonight against your relentless pressure.
Greg,
I really
Greg
did.
Dykman. Remember he had he used the highlighter bat.
Yeah, the fluorescent
the orange bat.
But I think I've held my own today against your relentless onslaught. That's a check swing, and he did not offer. And the groan goes up from the crowd here at Alex Fox Stadium, Skip Bertman Field.
Tiger fans wanted this one, and yeah, that could have been called a strike.
That's a 50-50 call for sure.
Maybe 54-46.
Possibly. Johnson out of Kenner, Louisiana. Here's the pitch, the 2-2. Another check swing, and this time not as close. And the runner at first base will be moving with 2 outs and 3 balls and 2 strikes. Narvin Booker is the new center fielder. Booker stays in the game, and Carson Irvin moves from center field to right field, replacing Melancon. So it's Irvin in right and Booker in center. And Chris Stanfield is the first hitter for the Tigers. He had a double last time and scored a run. He's 1 for 3 today. Len Rollins, Ronnie Rance with you. Thank you for being part of our Monday night. Stanfield from Tallahassee, Florida. Played at Auburn last year.
If I were to tell you that none, and it was Chris Stanfield and Jared Jones, how do you think that would, which way do you think it would go? You would think Stanfield would have the 2 stolen bases and Jared Jones would have none, but it's the other way around.
Stanfield is purported to be one of the fastest players in the country. Three and one. Now 3-2. And Ronnie, this young man came into the game hitting .368, so that's going to go up.
It's 2 times he's faced Luke McGivney, the former Catholic High player.
He was the first batter that McGivney faced, and as you mentioned, he's struck a couple of line drive base hits. Now it's Braswell. Michael hitting .167 at the moment. He's had 1 at bat today coming off the bench and grounded out to third. Two and 0. As Ronnie mentioned earlier, LSU will jump on a bus as soon as the players can get a shower, gather their gear, and head to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. You remember those minor league bus rides, don't you? You can't forget them.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to find out. I don't know if they're flying over.
Oh,
or
they
if
might
they're
fly.
taking the bus, but they were loading the bus to leave. I don't know. This day and age, you never know.
Well, the bus might be
the
on its way with the equipment.
The bus rides, no doubt, were very interesting. I remember when playing at LSU, Coach Bertman had a rule: if anything was over 6 hours long, or maybe it was 8, we had the option to fly, either take the bus or fly. And Coach Bertman convinced us, if we took 2 tour buses, the ones that had the sleeper buses, right? That like the bands would take on tour and stuff. If we took 2 sleeper buses, that we could miss more school.
And this is Mick Paul batting for the first time. LSU needs 3 runs here to end the ball game.
You know, Coach Bertman learned from the legend Ron Frazier, who's in the College Baseball Hall of Fame, one of the all-time great coaches in the 70s and 80s. He used to ride behind his bus oftentimes in a limo. Team would be in the bus, he'd be in a limo, riding behind the bus, going to wherever they were playing. Now, Coach Bertman never did that. He never did the limo. There were a few times he flew and met us there, but but that's pretty big league right there.
I've never heard of that. I bet a player or two were begging to ride with Coach. That's something I need to discuss with you for 4 hours.
That's pretty mafiosa kind of stuff right there. The boss is in the limo.
Well, coming into tonight's play, Alabama was 8-0. So was South Carolina, with Paul Maneri at the helm.
Pretty good start for Coach Maneri, huh?
Florida was 7-0. Tennessee likewise. Oklahoma was 6-0. Georgia was 8-1. Auburn 7-1. Vanderbilt 7-1. LSU and Arkansas and Ole Miss and Mississippi State 6-1. Texas 5-1. Texas A&M 5-1. Kentucky 4-1. And only Missouri, to this point in the season, has a losing record in the SEC. The Missouri Tigers are 3-4. Mick Paul out of Salt Lake City, Utah. First at bat today.
Coach Paul Maneri, the active leader in career wins with 1,513 career wins and counting.
And that's counting
over there.
That's counting the 8-0 start, huh?
Going to be weird to see him coach against LSU in May, the last weekend series of the year in the SEC. And week 10 of this SEC season is LSU at South Carolina.
He'll be weepy.
No doubt.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Nobody out. LSU trying to get it done in the 7th inning and get an early start over to Dallas. I can remember riding a bus in the Texas League, seeing the sun come up, go down, and come up again before you get off the bus. That's out to El Paso.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That was the Alexandria Aces days?
It was.
Yeah.
Lawsuits are still being settled.
Did you ever get paid all your money from doing those games back in the day?
I don't know. If you ask IRS, the answer is no.
Oh, Luke McGibney giving the Colonels some good work. 53 pitches in an inning and 2/3. That's a bunch.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Let's check the base runner at first here. Here we go.
This is the guy the Tigers want in this situation.
Jared Jones is salivating as he gets to the plate. He draws something in the dirt behind the batter's box. He'll lean back. Wide stance. Waiting for the pitch. Here it comes. It swirls wide. That's tight. It almost hit him. So McGivney has been outside and inside on the first 2 pitches to the Bear. Don't poke the Bear. The shift is on.
You know he wants to swing on this one. They must have given him the take, because I would think he looked like he wanted to rip.
The 2-1 pitch. Whacked foul the other way.
Surprised he was tardy. That was 87 on that offering by McGivney, but Jones was a little late on it.
He's hitting .400 right now. 11 driven in, 2 home runs, 1 tonight, and a couple of stolen bases tonight. The 2-2 pitch. Smash foul the other way.
By the way, got some clarification, Lynn. The LSU bus is a deadhead bus with all their equipment.
Okay.
So their luggage and all that. And tomorrow, LSU's having 3 flights at different staggered times with players and and staff going over. So they don't have a charter. They have 3 different commercial flights with players going over at different times. That's interesting.
Something's got to give here. Nobody out. Bases loaded. 3-2 on Jared Jones. He can send this game into the record books with 1 swing. Tigers need 3 runs in this inning to close it out. And they've got a chance to do it. And now the game-ending run is at third base.
Ball hit sharply by Brown. It was actually a nice play by the Colonel first baseman. And a big drop by Nicholls, because the winning run in this ball game is 90 feet away with only 1 out. So
that pinch runner, by the way, was Ryan Costello. He was the one that was forced at second base after the nice pickup at first. 1 gone. And runners at first and third. And Ronnie, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't if they would intentionally walk an LSU batter here. The only runner that matters in terms of keeping this game going is at third base with 1 out. So it would not surprise me a bit if they issued a walk here to load the bases and create the potential force at home opportunity or double play to end the inning.
Now, also for Nicholls, they've got a game tomorrow at Tulane and then conference play this weekend. It also might behoove them to cut a couple innings short.
Mikey Ryan at the plate from Luling, Louisiana, out of Rummel High School. And they're not going to walk him, at least intentionally. The infield is at double play depth in the middle. Ryan was a pinch runner a couple of innings ago. Batting for the first. Nicholls players are reluctant to leave the field, but this game is over in favor of LSU.
Mikey Ryan saying, wait a minute, I wanted to be the hero. I wanted to get the guy in at third. Instead, McGivney's wild pitch leads to.
One of them from Jones, one of them from Milam, and LSU wins again. The Tigers are now 7-1 on the year, and Nicholls falls to 5-3. So that wraps it up from Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field. LSU on a rare Monday night in Alex Box Cruise. Thank you for watching. This has been a presentation of ESPN.